The bombard is a contemporary conical-bore double-reed instrument widely used to play traditional Breton music. The bombard is a woodwind instrument and a member of the shawm family. Like most shawms, it has a broad and very powerful sound vaguely resembling a trumpet. It is played as other shawms are played, with the double reed placed between the lips. The second octave is overblown, achieved via increased lip and air pressure through the use of an octave key. It plays a diatonic scale of up to 2 octaves, although contemporary instruments frequently have added key work permitting some degree of chromaticism. A bombard player is known as a talabarder after Talabard, the older Breton name for the bombard. The tradition, sonneurs-de-couple. Traditional Breton musicians are referred to as sonneries and sonneurs. Musicians playing in pairs are also referred to as sonneurs-de-couple. While sonna originally referred only to the bombard player, the meaning long ago expanded to also include other traditional musicians. Call and response remains a central aspect of Breton music regardless of the instruments used. The paired can-disc vocal tradition, which remains vitally active today, perhaps formed the original basis for all other pairings of Breton musicians. In some parts of Brittany from the late 19th century onwards, the most popular sonneurs-de-couple were the paired trugengale clarinet and accompanying button accordion. Bombards in the most traditional setting are accompanied by a bagpipe called the binio-coge, which plays an octave above the bombard. The bombard calls, and the binio responds. The bombard requires so much lip pressure and breath support that a talabarder can rarely play a sustained melody line. The binio plays the melody continuously, while the bombard takes breaks, establishing the call and response pattern. Prior to World War I, a given pair of sonneurs would typically cover all of the weddings, funerals, and other social occasions within a given territory, which would be jealously guarded from other performers. This jet of bombard and pipes, also occasionally accompanied by a drummer in past centuries, has been practiced for at least 500 years in Brittany in an unbroken tradition and must be considered the heart and soul of this instrument's place in Breton culture. Revival in the bagadou. In the first part of the 20th century, the number of players of bombards and binio-coge decreased significantly. In the late 40s, the creation of the bagadou, a specifically Breton ensemble of bagpipes, bombards and drums, by figures such as Polich Monjarat and the organization Baudin de Garçonnerie, offered a new role to the bombard. Now most towns in Brittany have one or several bagadou, and they continually compete with each other in a series of annual tournaments and festivals. As the bagad is a Breton take on the Scottish pipe band concept, the music initially performed was typically martial in character. Now the bagadou play dance music, traditional melodies and new compositions. The large number of bombard players in the bagadou has been a key factor in the successful popularization of the instrument. Another key factor has been the revitalization of the traditional pairing of the bombard and binio in the 1970s with the Breton cultural revival. Thanks to the success of Alan Stivell and the development of festeno-Z dances and traditional music competitions. Still evolving, festeno-Z and beyond. Essentially a shawm or oboe that is, a pipe with a conical bore, a double reed, and finger holes. Traditional Breton bombardou are probably very close to the original progenitor of the oboe family. The bombard is an instrument that has been in constant evolution, with many different keys developed as well as sophisticated silver key work enabling chromatic possibilities. Milder versions in lower ranges such as le Behans piston have been developed for use in mixed ensembles. A class of professional musicians and instrument makers has emerged, as well as standardized reeds and commonly available tutorial materials. Today, both the binio and bombard are played in combination combination with an unlimited number of instruments in festeno-z, groups and ensembles of all styles, from classical to folk, rock, pop, punk, metal, in arrangements of traditional Breton dance tunes or in new compositions. Musicians and instrument makers: Samsoni Rien, Gildas Moll, Christian Faucher, Georges Epinet, André Lamenant, Georges Botouhar, Christophe Caron, Sabine Locodou, Cyril Bonneau, David Pasquet, Josie Calotte, Eric Beaumine, Jean Baron, Mathieu Serrault, Stéphane Hardy, Serge Trio, Jan Kermabon, Ewan Le Behan, Ivan Aglemestre, Erwin Hammond, Daniel Fayon, Gilles Lehart. Some instrument makers: Hervier and Amp Clay, Georges Botouhar, Ewan Le Behan, Axone, Yvonne Laconte, Gilles Lehart, Christian Bosrechel, Eric Ollu, Rudy Ledoyen, Dorig Lavoie. Some recordings: Evit Dancel, Gilles Lehart and Daniel Fayon. Undispute: Gildas Moll and René Chaplin. Pléjade: Georges Botouhar, with Pascal Gingard, Philippe Quillet, Pascal Marsault, Kurzbier and Dance Skulven. Films of Pipers and Wrens. Produced and directed by Gazant Zinger in collaboration with Dactum. Lois V. Kuta, ethnomusicological consultant, DeVault, Pennsylvania. Constant Spring Productions.